What advice do you have for me as I move into adulthood in order to become a more informed and involved citizen?
Well, first of all, thank you for being here, and I have hope thanks to people like you. How old are you again?
13.
13. Here's a couple things I want to encourage you to do. Learn something new every single day, and focus on what it means to be a good person and a person of strong character.
Oh, boy. All right. That's how it's going to go. I want to play that later for sure. Just, of course, it would buffer right then. Let me get this fixed here. Let me get Brad in here as well. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Boom. All right. Much better. I got to play that later. Actually, it kind of worked out that it didn't continue playing because I was already starting to tear up again. And by the time we got to the end of that, I probably would have pulled the plug on the whole damn live stream, honestly.
I know.
Oh, gosh. Brad, thanks for joining me today. Obviously, a different show was planned for today. And still wanted to spend time with y'all here in the audience. I appreciate you being a part of the Thursday Deep Dive. The 9/11 show with George Hill has been rescheduled for 2 weeks from now on September 25th. So I still have a lot of important questions to talk to him about on that front. But today is a day for Charlie Kirk. And I have no idea how this is going to go for Brad and myself. I don't know how long it's going to go. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to just stop talking. I thought I held it together today until I heard Steve Deace's show. So please take some time later and listen to that, at least the first hour of Steve Deace today. And it's so powerful, but it's very emotional. So I know we're all
word of advice.
Uh-huh.
I discovered that because I was trying this morning, taking a bulldog clip and just like pinching the crap out of my finger.
I've done that actually.
It doesn't really work, but at least it makes you think about something.
It distracts you.
It does distract you when you feel like you're going to break down, and it'll give you something else to think about and pulls you out of the moment for just a second.
Yeah. There are so many directions we could go with this. I want to say this, that and it's obviously illustrated right now. I have not been able to concentrate for 24 hours.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. In fact, yesterday, when the news broke, I couldn't even sit down. I just had so much nervous energy waiting to hear, hopefully, some good news, which never came. This is kind of silly, but just to kind of illustrate. And I know everybody out there, you know exactly where you were, you know what you were doing, and you can probably replay your afternoon, or maybe it's all a blur. For me, I say this not to make this about me, but just to illustrate where my head was. And I'm sorry, I need to do an audio stream. There will be an audio space available. There you go, audio streamers. Sorry about that. It's there for the purpose of if you would like to talk to all of us, whatever's on your heart, please, there's an audio stream available. So sorry, I forgot to get that started. So recently, Ezra decided that my son decided that he would I gave him carte blanche, just go and redo the garage. And there's obviously just a ton of garbage, whenever you undertake a project like that. And so he filled up countless boxes of trash in the garage. And then so now it's sitting out in the driveway waiting for the next garbage pickup. So
So good stuff?
It's no good stuff. And I'll tell you why I know this. I know this because of yesterday. I told him, I said, all right, man, I'll trust you, throw away whatever. Just whatever you need to. I'll trust you. I'm not going to go behind your back here and start, hey, I need that. Because that's a weakness of mine, pack rat. Okay. So we've had these big boxes of trash that have been taped up. And yesterday, when the news about Charlie Kirk broke, I couldn't sit at the computer because part of my daily routine is to prep for my day job, Pat Gray Unleashed over at The Blaze. And normally I would be during the afternoon going through the news of the day and pulling aside pictures and videos that we'll use on the next day's show. My coworker, Chris Cruz, is bombarding me with stuff. I'm talking about a normal afternoon. I couldn't think. I couldn't sit down. And I found myself just roaming around the garage and the driveway there. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to dig through these boxes of garbage. I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but I found myself just
sounds like an excuse to dig through your garbage and
sorting garbage.
Keep stuff you didn't want to throw away.
Brad, I didn't rescue anything. Nothing that was in the garbage didn't remain in the garbage. But I'm not kidding you when I say I was sorting garbage. I was so much nervous energy that I was like, okay, I'll put this stuff over here because this looks very similar, and I'll put this over. I was losing my damn mind yesterday, and finally, I had to go into work and just get to work, prep there, spend the night at work. Because I was doing no good staying at home. And the way Steve Dace said it today on his show, I mean, this was the top general that we lost. I mean, that is the best description. I'm beside myself still 24 hours later. I mean, this is something you don't recover from. And as big of a loss as this is, it's nothing compared to his young widow and his small children and what they have lost. I thought the First Lady, this tweet right here from her yesterday, if I can find it. And y'all, I got to tell you, first of all, look at this. I mean, that just shatters you to the core, that picture of the family. Oh gosh. But you want to talk about, and this is what I started to say there, is I have so many tabs open. I have so much here that I know I normally suck at this and getting the pictures up in a timely fashion. Today's going to be even worse because I'm just scrolling, looking, where is that tweet? Where is that? So, and I'm so grateful for friends like Brad, who, I reached out to you yesterday and I'm like, hey man, I'm just going to talk about Charlie Kirk and let people talk if they want to. I have nothing else. I mean, I just want to sit down and talk about Charlie. And thank you for joining me today, Brad. But there's the First Lady's tweet yesterday. I mean, this one breaks me so much. Charlie's children will be raised with stories instead of memories, photographs instead of laughter, and silence where their father's voice should have echoed. Charlie Kirk's life should serve as a symbolic reminder that our compassionate awareness elevates family, love, and country. I mean, that is perfectly stated and shattering at the same time.
That's the hardest part. The kids, that's the hardest part. Really, it's just because I didn't know Charlie.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I did not. No, it's funny you say that. Let me just say this real quick. And you want to talk about an opportunity lost. You will follow big name accounts, and 99% of them will not follow you back. Mm-hmm. I followed Charlie Kirk several years back. I don't even know, probably 5, 6, I have no idea. But I noticed immediately he followed me back, but yet I never took advantage of that opportunity to invite him on this show. It crossed my mind several times, but I never did reach out to him or anything like that. And now I'm just so angry at myself, because you want to talk about a wealth of knowledge, and I have not heard a bad thing about him. I've heard nothing but incredible things about his friendship. Again, listen to Steve Deace today, but please, and I'm not saying this flippantly, you want to grab the tissues if you listen to Steve Deace's first hour today. And I'll be on with Steve and the guys tomorrow, and I don't know. All I'm thinking of, whether it's this live stream or with the guys tomorrow, I'm trying so desperately to not cry on camera. And
good luck with that.
I know. This morning on Pat's show, I must have been half the time just biting my lip. It's yesterday I was equal parts enraged and just broken. Today I'm feeling broken, but the enraged part has now been replaced with like a sort of weird resolve. Like you can't let his message go silent. And I'm so grateful for how many clips, how many shows, all of the stuff that is out there. And as I said this morning, this is a great opportunity. And you have about a week if you really want a smooth, transition. I don't know how you word this, but let's just say you're at the water cooler, or you're interacting with a family or friend, or maybe you're texting, and you tell them, look, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I just suffered a terrible loss in seeing who I think it's easy to say a very good friend, even if you never met him, like you and me, Brad. We haven't met him, but he felt like a friend, because he just felt like somebody who was just so intelligent and so gifted at conveying our message. He was kind of the what did I refer to him as? The Ravi Zacharias of politics. He's almost this generation's Rush Limbaugh, but he's able to distill it down, and he's able to explain in a way that is so friendly and so approachable. And so what I started to say there is, look for opportunities to tell people who at this moment have no idea who Charlie Kirk is. All of us on the right, we know who he is. We understand his importance and the message that he carried to college campuses and beyond through social media. But there's so many people that have no idea what we're going through, or
do you think so? Because they said that on, I was watching CBS, and they said there's a lot of people who don't even know who he was, and I don't know that I have a hard time believing that.
Well, let me give you some examples here. And again, on the audio stream, if you guys are interested in weighing in, please raise your hand and I'll get to you as soon as I can. And understand that the elements that we're playing and what Brad is saying, you will not hear on the audio stream. It's primarily there. I guess if you want to hear what I have to say, but
what the hell good is it then?
It's primarily there if you would like to share what you're feeling. But let me put it to you this way. Yesterday afternoon, I was getting phone calls and texts from people that knew exactly the gravity of the situation. But I also had people in my life, not bad people. I swear, if I knew anyone that was celebrating this death, that person, I would not be taking my own advice of sharing a clip. No, I would be absolutely losing my mind on them just long enough before I cut them out of my life. But I was getting texts from people who didn't know anything that was going on in Utah, that don't know who Charlie Kirk is, asking me for different things that had nothing to do with that horrific situation happening out in Utah. And it's like, I wanted to just be like, can you just stop? But again, they didn't know what was happening. And so what I'm suggesting as we march forward with Charlie's message and making sure that the principles of freedom and integrity that he stood for continue to get conveyed, look for those opportunities to be like, hey, you know what? I will get you that document. Right now, it's been a rough few days. Over here, we're mourning the loss of Charlie Kirk. If you're not familiar, here's a clip of him. And send them a video of him talking about how America is a Christian nation, or how important the Constitution is, or how important his faith is to him. I think that's a way that you can keep his voice resonating. I don't know, man.
Well, you said something about people saying, heinous things, and I haven't seen anybody yet that I know that I interact with on a daily basis say anything completely heinous. But there was a friend of mine who I've known him since, I don't know, 6th grade. We don't call each other when it rains or anything like that, but and he's gay. He has a church, at least some form of a church. It was in New York, but anyway, he posted something that said, "Spare me the hand wringing."
Oh no!
And I'm like,
he sent this to you, or he posted
no, it was a post on Facebook.
Okay.
And I saw it, and I thought, what do you do? Do you respond? Do you mute? Do you unfriend? Because clearly and then the responses to that in on the post were, and I'll say, at least spare me the hand wringing isn't the most heinous thing I've seen, but the sentiment behind it is it's not such a bad thing that he's dead. That's the sentiment behind that post. And I thought, this is, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody who has died Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I didn't agree with her. I'm trying to think of anyone who has died that I've actually wished death upon them.
No, exactly.
I'm pretty sure I haven't.
And see,
it boggles my mind.
The way the left handles the death of those on the right and the way the right handles the death of those on the left is night and day. And I don't care. You can't convince me otherwise. And what is so and to your point, nobody that I personally know has reached out to me or posted that I've seen or anything like that. But I've seen plenty of it. And so much. This is the thing. We always expect there to be demons out there finding glee.
If we play that one girl.
Oh yeah, we'll play that. Yeah. So we always expect those out there, but it just feels like this time they are not shy and they are coming out of the woodwork, and this is absolutely heinous to a whole new level. Like, honestly, I think that, and it's just kind of hitting me right now, and see if this makes sense. It feels like there's more giddiness on the demonic left over Charlie Kirk's death than Rush Limbaugh. And let me explain why I think that is as I'm sitting here noodling this out. Rush Limbaugh, I think, to the majority of the generation that is on social media, was kind of like, nah, you know what? That's a boomer generation thing. He's on AM talk radio. He's not out there changing hearts and minds on college campuses. Whereas the people who spend the majority of their time on social media, that's their age group that Charlie is reaching.
Mm-hmm.
And so they see up close and firsthand the impact that he has had on so many people their age. Whereas a Rush Limbaugh seems like a distant thing. That was 80s and 90s. That was Rush versus Bill Clinton. That's a whole different era, man. That's before 9/11 that Rush Limbaugh mattered, according to these people that are shouting for joy in the streets right now over Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk was impacting their friends and their classmates and people their age, and doing it with love and with a smile on his face, and so that really brought out the demons, I think. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Because I watched some of the Sky News and Rita, what's her name? Rita Panini. I always want to call her Rita Panini, but she she does the segment Lefties Losing It, and it had a number of those people, put the microphone in front of their face, and they were like, "I'm glad he's dead." And I thought, okay, they're young, they're college kids. Are they going to, in a week or a month or a year or 5 years or 10 years, are they going to look back and be mortified that they said that? Is there enough of a conscience in there that they will see the error of their ways, or are they truly, because there's nothing that's nothing but evil when you say things like that?
And what kind of consequence should there be? In other words, Laura just posted libs of TikTok, Scott Pressler, and 0 Hour tracking these vile people down. A lot of them are educators and getting fired.
Yeah.
Do we need to be doxing Philly's Karen? The chick that took the baseball from the kid? No. But now you do this here, and now I'm like, you know what? Yeah, if you're out there, part of me feels like, okay, especially if you're an educator, Laura, that's okay. These are the people we have to root out of society. We have to make it so uncomfortable for them. If that's how they feel, no. If you're going to sit here and make up out of whole cloth a way to describe people like Charlie Kirk, calling him a racist or Hitler or Nazi, and then there's zero consequences. Mm-hmm. And we don't know anything about the shooter yet, and we will talk about the suspect and all of that here. But this is inevitably where this stuff ends up. This is where because you are catering to what is now the demonic base of the Democrat Party. Hate animates these people, and for any Democrat politician today to cry crocodile tears and act like they're so upset and heartbroken, you have been pouring fuel on this fire for so long. And so maybe we don't know the motivations of the shooter or who the shooter is, but we sure as hell see the people that are celebrating this death.
Yes.
The death of a husband and a young father, and someone because what? Because you didn't like his ideas, you didn't like his opinions, you didn't like his worldview, and so now that he's been assassinated at the age of 31, so that gives you justification to go out and celebrate? No, screw you. You know what? Find these people, make their lives miserable, make them uncomfortable. Let's bring back shame. Let's make it so these people don't feel comfortable speaking out at something when they have these kind of heinous thoughts. It's grotesque, man.
Isn't that suspension of you have the right to say what you feel and think.
I didn't say there should be a legal consequence.
But there should be consequences.
This is society going into the town square and saying this person is a piece of crap and here's why. And so then, you know what? Then their employer can make the decision. No, I'm not at any time would I say that there should be some sort of legal ramification for speech. No, there should be a societal impact, and let the chips fall where they may. If you're going to have that opinion, then I guess you'll just have to suffer those consequences, because isn't that what you said about Charlie Kirk?
Right. And I have not looked at there are a lot of people. There's a subreddit, Change My View, and a lot of people have commented on his stance on the word empathy. I haven't gone back and listened to it, but he had, I guess essentially he said, I don't like the word empathy. I don't believe in empathy, but I don't know why he said it, and I don't know what his reasoning was behind it. But that was also the beauty of what Charlie Kirk did, is he would explain why he felt the way he did. Whether or not he actually didn't like the word empathy, I don't know. He may have just been doing that as a conversation starter.
Hmm.
But and in the same way that he talked about Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Act of 63, and he to encapsulate it, he basically said after 63, after the Civil Rights Act, black culture or black society basically went sideways. They became dependent on the government. And he criticized the Civil Rights Act. And then people are pouncing on that, saying, here's a guy who criticized, who didn't agree with the civil rights legislation, and that's why he deserved to die.
Okay.
But he explained what was wrong, or what his standpoint, or a standpoint. I mean, again, I don't know if he genuinely down deep believed, or if he was actually having a conversation.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of times what we do. We say something. Doc Thompson did the very same thing.
And I don't care what your opinion is. It never, and I know you're not saying this, but it absolutely never rises to deserving an assassin's
absolutely
bullet.
not. Absolutely not. It's because they didn't have a good way to debate him. They couldn't debate him. That was the issue. They reacted emotionally, and they didn't stop and think. And that was what Charlie was a master of, is getting people to stop and think critically and try to, and I'm horrible at trying to put into words my thoughts, which is surprising, but he would make people put into words what they were thinking, and then you could see on their faces as they put these words out of their mouth that they realized, seriously, I'm not making any sense.
I know. E1 Guru says, in summation, Charlie said the Civil Rights Act should just have said, don't discriminate against black people, period. So there you go. That seems reasonable.
How about we just don't discriminate against anybody?
Anybody, right? Yes.
How about if you're good at, if you have the skills to do a job, okay, if it's my company, I get to hire, if there are three of you, I get to hire which one I like.
Yeah, right. Well, imagine that. Freedom of association. In fact, that almost kept Rand Paul out of the Senate when he made a comment like businesses should be able to discriminate. Freedom of association, and let the market forces determine. But see, he learned very quickly that the masses, the voters, are not ready for that kind of personal responsibility, and the society taking care of a business owner or a problem that they see without full force of the law. And he nearly never got started in the Senate because he said something along those lines, if I recall. And as you can see, at this point, 24 hours later, we are on one hand, we're trying to advance his ideals and some of the great things that he said. In fact, I hate that thing buffered. I do want to play that again.
I tried to look for it to see if I can play it over here.
Oh, thanks. I got it. I'll try it again here. But on one hand, we're trying to remember some of his wisdom, but on the other hand, we're being distracted by the evil demons that are gleefully celebrating his public murder. The one thing that I was going to say here is, I mean, that's diverting our attention a bit there. And this is going to sound clunky, but let's see if Brad can help translate this for me. I'm almost, I want justice brought to the killer, whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But part of me is actually, see if I can word this without sounding like a complete idiot. I'm kind of glad we don't have that sewn up yet. And let me explain. Because I feel like if we did, then we would all be working overtime to figure out who this person is, the background of this person, everything. Like, we will get to that. And so help me, I want to find out exactly who did this, who's behind it, if it's a larger plot. But I feel like that would be the focus right now, the killer. And the motivations of that. And what animated it. I know we've heard about the bullet. I don't know if I believe the bullet. but we'll see. If you didn't hear, apparently it had what like a trans type message or something on it, or
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I think I froze up.
Yeah, you did. Let me pull you down here and see if that helps you. I thought you were just staring at me and checking me out.
I may have been. Should I let me reconnect.
You reconnect. Okay. So while he reconnects, I want to play that montage that I tried to open up with, that my computer said, nah, too many tabs open, Keith. Because it's just a powerful, he's so good at this. This is so effective. It's a 60-second clip here featuring Charlie Kirk's wisdom.
What advice do you have for me as I move into adulthood in order to become a more informed and involved citizen?
Well, first of all, thank you for being here. And I have hope thanks to people like you. How old are you again?
13.
13. Here's a couple things I want to encourage you to do. Learn something new every single day. And focus on what it means to be a good person and a person of strong character. Aristotle said that courage is the ultimate virtue. Without it, there are no other virtues. If people aren't courageous, you don't have honesty, you don't have justice, you don't have beauty, you don't have wonder. And so at age 13, I want you to commit yourself to a life of courage. Courage is doing the right thing when you don't know how it's going to work out. Courage is committing yourself to the correct course of action, regardless of the cost associated to it.
Every human being, I believe, is made in the image of the divine, is sacred, is unique. And if we get away from this principle as we have, we not only have moral degradation, we not only have the collapsing society around us, but it's bad for that being itself. That being itself is unique. That being has rights. And who are we to say, just because we're older, that we get to murder it? Thank you.
Oh. There you go. Glad we got that scene, because
I'm back.
Yeah, well, good, because I'm about to cry.
The meme I have up over here, I think
is it the Alex Jones one?
Yeah. This was I can't remember who. I think it was Pope Freebie the 38th put that up this morning, and that encapsulates it, because for whatever reason yesterday felt different.
Yeah, so let me read this here, since it's kind of small here. Me trying to, so it shows Alex Jones just in deep thought here, and it says, me trying to think of a way to explain to people that society as we know it is over without sounding like a crazy person. Holy crap, that's so true.
It is. It's because where do you go? What is the response to this? I know, turn the other cheek, love thy neighbor, all of that good stuff, but at some point, I mean, when do you, and even more important than that, if you're going to fight back, who do you go fight?
Okay, so and just let me take a moment here for those listening in the audio stream that exists primarily for if you would like to share your thoughts and what you're feeling today. You're not going to hear the elements that we're playing, and you won't hear Brad. It's mostly just there. You're welcome to just listen to one side of the conversation, mine.
That's the most important side.
Most important side. You know, I used to have and I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but that's how my brain works. I used to have a little handheld scanner, and let's just say back in the day, the neighbors' cordless phones, you could pick up one side of the conversation. So
were you it's not a peeping Tom, that's a
no, that'd be an audio Tom. Not a peeping Tom, an audio Tom. I didn't say that I did that and I listened to their conversations.
That's true, you didn't.
I simply said I had a handheld scanner, Mr. Staggs, that could pick up one half of a conversation.
Words are important.
Of the neighbors.
Words are important.
I certainly did not partake. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you just started to kind of allude to another meme here that you sent me, and I'm going to see if I can find it.
Oh boy, that one.
Yeah,
that was
so many tabs. Here it is. You want to read this? Do you have it in front of you? Can you
not really.
Okay, I'll read it if you don't want to.
Why don't you read it?
Okay, so here we go.
I did it last time.
This is a meme that Brad sent over. The most terrifying force of death comes from the hands of men who wanted to be left alone. They try so very hard to mind their own business. and provide for themselves and those they love. They resist every impulse to fight back, knowing the forced and permanent change of life that will come from it. They know that the moment they fight back, their lives as they have lived them are over. The moment the men who wanted to be left alone are forced to fight back, it is a form of suicide. They are literally killing off who they used to be. Which is why, when forced to take up violence, these men who wanted to be left alone fight with unholy vengeance against those who murdered their former lives. They fight with raw hate and a drive that cannot be fathomed by those who are merely play acting at politics and terror. True terror will arrive at these people's door, and they will cry, scream, and beg for mercy. But it will fall upon the deaf ears of the men who just wanted to be left alone. Now, Brad, I don't think we're there yet. Are we still trying to win hearts and minds?
We're that close.
We're dangerously
that close
to being those men.
Because when it does happen, there's no going back.
And that's why, see, now this is why Charlie Kirk was so effective. Because he was the absolute best of us. And he was winning hearts and minds. And the demons can't handle that. The demons would love us to be at each other's throats physically. They love that stuff.
Yes.
But they can't handle a Charlie Kirk. They can't handle the arena of ideas. They have no leg to stand on with their arguments. And this man dismantled them in front of their peers. And we will see who the shooter is, and we will see what the motivations are. I don't know that we'll ever know the truth. I really don't. I every time one of these things happens, something like this happens, it's difficult to accept whatever narrative we end up. There's the picture of the suspect that the FBI is searching for. There's pictures of him. They said, what did they say? He was college aged.
College age, but this is number 3.
Right.
So who the hell do we know who this guy is?
So we detained one guy.
2.
Hold on. We detained one guy there at the scene.
Yeah.
An older gentleman that they detain and let go. Have we seen a picture of the second person that they stopped?
Yes.
That I haven't. Okay, I personally have not.
And
that guy had a pellet gun with him, which makes total sense on a college campus.
Right.
But,
yeah.
anyway.
It was.
Let's see.
What was the last?
And they found the rifle, right, in the woods. They found a rifle in the woods. Which
they say they had a rifle, and they also had a forearm print. I don't know what that means. They had a forearm print on the rifle, but in that picture the dude has long sleeves, so I don't know how they had a forearm print. But then there's probably a lot of things they're not telling us.
I mean, such a good point. I mean, this is the kind of stuff.
What does a forearm print even do?
I don't know.
Unless it's DNA, unless you got sweat, and
right,
they can now take that DNA. But somebody brought up a great point this morning that you can. I mean, they found people from January 6th because of an earring. I mean, they could see him from a satellite. How can you not? Well, I guarantee you there's some way they go back and look at a satellite image and see who got up on the roof and then follow him. Is that hard to believe?
Let me put this poll up that I posted about 10 hours ago, maybe 8 hours ago. There we go. The killer of Charlie Kirk remains on the loose. What does your gut tell you about the shooter? Deranged liberal leading the way at 48%. Deep state hit. That's where we are now on these stories, right?
Yep.
40, and with good reason. 40% say deep state hit. Foreign hit, 11%. I saw a video of him talking about Jeffrey Epstein, Mossad connections.
Oh, Israel.
Yeah.
He was concerned that Israel might take him out, which is weird.
And then less than 1% say deranged conservative. That would they only thinking there. The reason I put that poll answer up is, maybe somebody jealous that Charlie Kirk is leader of the conservative movement. I don't know. So less than 1% say that. So we're kind of split there on deranged liberal or deep state hit, and I think it's. Well, hell, I don't know. Maybe foreign hit too. Who knows, man? I mean, seriously, that's the thing. Whatever the government ends up telling me about it, my gut's gonna rightfully not believe it.
He was dangerous. He had the minds of the Utes, which is exactly why they being the machine, the networks, the mainstream legacy media, that's why those late night shows are so important to them, because they have the Utes, and the Utes are the future. And that's why he was so dangerous, because he was changing, or at least directing them to think and make up their own minds.
So
it
hold that,
very dangerous.
Hold that thought, okay? Because I want to revisit that in a second. And I look over here and I do see Nick Ryan is got his hand raised. So I'll be over there in just a second here. But I've got a lot of irons in the fire here, so hang loose here. Do we not look at roofs? Do we not? Do we not?
Yeah. You think he'd already be
at an event like this? Like, is anybody looking at the roof?
But why would they?
What do you mean? Why would they?
And who would? I mean, he had a small security team.
Okay.
But when you say look at roofs,
well, I'm just talking about Butler, Pennsylvania. I mean, that seems damn obvious, considering we had the former president of the United States, leading president contender.
There are all sorts of reasons the roofs weren't checked there.
Okay. So here we've got these two students. See this?
This is creepy.
So there's somebody on the roof over there?
Do we know? Did these guys ever tell anybody, any authorities or anybody?
We don't even know who they are.
They just ran from
we don't even
over.
Honestly, we don't even know this is real.
From over there, ran in. And now he's right there.
Well, there's another video that I don't have queued up that shows him running after the shot.
Oh, after the shot?
After the shot, when everyone somebody was taking the video from inside like the student center or something, and as they're panning during the chaos, you see a guy up on that roof running across.
I think that is.
Oh, you've got it there?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
I've got something, but where did it go?
It's difficult. You have to find the right video where the person slowed it down and zoomed in on.
Yeah, that's what is this right here.
Okay.
That one.
All right. Go ahead and play it. There you go. Oh, yeah. That's the one.
I've got this slowed down to 25 or a quarter percent.
Immediately
there you go.
Following the shooting.
Look at that.
According to.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but again, even if they had checked it, are they checking it the whole time? And how do you afford as a speaker, as a Charlie Kirk, or as anybody else? I mean, we don't.
I know.
And unless you want to stand behind bulletproof glass everywhere you go,
I know that's.
What do you do? I mean, do you not ever do anything outdoors?
Right.
That's how Lincoln got it, though. But I mean, there's going to be. It doesn't matter what you do, in my opinion. If somebody really wants at you, they're going to get at you.
You said something there that I wanted to revisit, and shoot, and now I have forgotten.
Was it genius? Because I don't say very many things that are worth revisiting.
Well, then the odds are it was not.
Okay, you're probably right. It probably had to do with chocolate then.
I had to do with chocolate. Yeah. Okay. So, while I try to remember what it was.
Okay. Wombat Mommy says the same thing they said. Remember, Utah's a hunting state and a gun state. For 140 yards, 200 yards with that rifle is not that hard of a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree.
Yeah, especially when you consider he leaned right back and then boom. So in other words, the shooter was clearly trained on him sitting upright, and then waited for him because he was answering the question, and then he leaned back and then took the shot, which now they're saying that maybe it hit the bulletproof vest, and that's what ironically caused it to bounce up and hit him in the throat. I will note that the last word he said was violence, which is creepy.
It was either a hell of a good shot or a hell of a lucky shot. One of the two.
Well, I guess, are we going to find out who the shooter is? Do you think we'll actually find out?
Well, this is front page of the Salt Lake Tribune. Headline: Hopes for a fast capture of Kirk's shooter fade after Patel backtracks.
Patel's tweet was so just disqualifying. Oh my gosh, I don't have it ready here, but he was like, "Way to go, law enforcement! We got our guy." You know, it's like
they've done that. Okay, and this is number 3.
stop it.
This is after the first 2. I mean,
I don't know, man.
I want to believe.
Yeah,
I want to believe. I can't imagine the frustration of a Dan Bongino right now.
I'm telling you, he's moving to Secret Service. It's happening.
He is so frustrated.
A little birdie tells me that's going to happen, and I think that's a good hunch. If that's
and you know, Raven Harrison this morning, we had Raven Harrison on, and she took the pressure off of me for a good 30 minutes so I could just breathe. Sure. But she said, and I've said this before too, and she thinks that Pam Bondi's a good person. I don't know. But she says you've got between Kash Patel and Bongino and Pam Bondi, and even put Donald Trump in there as well. You've got good people who are trying to get good things accomplished. Imagine the force on the other side, whatever the other side is, the deep state, the syndicate, the machine, whatever you want to call it. Imagine the power of the force on the other side that is keeping things from getting done. And then that takes me back to when W told Glenn basically that he had no effing power in DC. It's like, you think I got power? I don't have power. And that's disheartening, but it's also, you got to live in, as Rush said, Realville. Does our president really, but this is why they hate Trump, because he tries to get things done. He's just not going along to get along. But the machine is powerful. It's powerful, and it's deadly. And people who don't believe that machine exists, and people who don't believe that they will take you out and that they could have taken out Charlie, I mean, God bless you for living in La La Land, because I wish I could. Once you see the truth, once the curtain's been pulled back,
now you look at nothing the same.
It sucks because you can't unsee it, and it's exhausting.
And every day, more and more Americans are having the curtain pulled back for them. Well, since I've completely forgotten what it is I wanted to say there, let's go to Nick. Nick is over in the audio space. Don't forget, the audio space exists if you would like to chime in over there, share your thoughts. You're not going to hear the Elements or Brad that we're playing here. So, not yet, because you're not. Okay, Brad, you're important. You're special to me, Brad.
Special, short. Special.
Okay, Nick, fire away. I hope the audio is loud enough. Brad, give me a thumbs up if Nick's audio is good enough for you there. Nick, what's up?
Hey, and I apologize. I haven't really been able to keep up with the conversation the past 5 minutes because I couldn't hear Brad. So I apologize if I'm kind of diverting the subject or changing here. But
whatever's on your mind, man. Don't worry about Brad anyway. He just clarified.
I'm the teller of this duo.
He's not important. Go ahead, Nick.
All right. Well, I guess I just wanted to keep in theme and talk about Charlie and how I've been feeling over the past 24 hours. I associate the same feelings that you were having yesterday with, or not associate. What's the word I'm looking for? I feel the same way, I guess, about being scatterbrained and being so shocked and bewildered. It's about, I was so distraught yesterday that I couldn't focus. I couldn't, like you were saying, like you were saying you were sorting trash. I couldn't.
Yeah.
The news broke to me while I was at the gym, and I stood there for 15 minutes watching the TV, and I just stood there. I didn't even realize how long I was there just watching the TV. I realized, okay, I can't focus right now. I've got to go home. When I went home, I was walking back and forth between my kitchen and my living room, thinking of something to do, but every time I thought of something to do, I would think, all right, how am I going to get my mind off this?
Yeah.
And then my mind would go straight back to that. The reason, and the other part that made me so distraught yesterday and going into today is most of the people I know and that are in my circle are liberals. Not all of them are deranged, but some of them are. The responses that I've been getting from people to things that I posted on my social media saying, well, you know, it kind of just goes with the territory. He was saying inflammatory things, so he put himself at risk. Okay. So
hold on a second. Hold on. I hate to derail you there, but can I just say, do you think that what percentage of Americans do you think hold that view? Because I've been actually, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I've actually been stunned by the number of people that I have seen online celebrating. I expected them as always. I expected the boneheaded things from the left media. I got that. But I've been overwhelmed in the numbers of evil that I've seen.
No, I absolutely agree. And I couldn't believe it, how many people, and it just goes to the whole, what you unpack, Gray, and Glenn say every day, the left is a death cult. Yep. They worship at the altar of human death. And this is just the ultimately perfect example of how they devalue human life so much. They are celebrating a 31-year-old father of two, not even a politician, his slaughter in front of thousands of people and the entire internet. They're celebrating it. Let me put it this way.
It's sickening, man. It's sickening.
To answer your question that you asked earlier as to whether or not you can change hearts and minds, yeah, maybe some, but from what I've seen in the past 24 hours, I don't think enough hearts and minds can be changed with the way of conservatism and having conversations. There are too many people that are deranged. There are too many people that are not. They're not. It's not possible to flip them because they're so filled with hate and derangement.
So what do we do? I mean, like,
right,
what's the next step?
That's exactly what I've been struggling with over the past 24 hours. Yeah. I've never felt this feeling before. Now, 31 years. I'm Charlie Kirk's age. I'm 31 years old. I have never felt this way, and I was so distraught. I couldn't even. I thought about calling my parents, but I decided to call my pastor, who I haven't actually spoken to in about 5 years. God bless him. He picked up, and I described to him what I was feeling, and I didn't know I didn't realize that this was the word for it, but he told me, what you're experiencing right now is rage. It's just violent anger. I mean, I know you and Jeffy and Pat earlier today said that you guys were filled with sadness. I can confidently say I never felt sadness. I haven't felt it yet. I might later. I haven't felt sadness. I've only been extremely angry.
Yeah.
I've been so filled with anger, and I didn't have. I guess I had never experienced rage before, and I guess this is what it felt like, and I don't like it, and I hate myself for letting myself succumb to it, but
I had it yesterday too, man. I get it. I get it. I think everybody's going to be different as to how long they feel a certain way. We just have to hope that those that are feeling that rage don't act out in a way that would destroy the freedoms that Charlie Kirk championed.
Right.
And
right. And it's so
tough, man.
It's so important to to remember what he said and act on it, and that you don't respond with violence because that's what they want. You don't respond with rage. You can have rage, but I think Glenn was saying earlier today, channel it in an effective and good way. And I mean, right now the wall is thick. I can't see the other side of this. I wish that I knew where we could go. We as conservatives could go from here. I don't know what's left other than Civil War II. I don't want there to be a Civil War.
But who do we fight?
But I'll tell you this, and I wouldn't have said this 26 hours ago. If one breaks out, I will be on the front line.
Brad wants to know who are we fighting if there's a civil war? Like how are you drawing sides?
I think it will come down to I think it'll come down the same way the first one did. You had Confederates on one side, and then you had the Union on the other side. I think it's going to come down to political affiliations. People who are farthest on the right, they will probably be the most eager to join that fight, and then the people farthest on the left, the Antifas in the world, the abortionists of the world, the people who are, the BLM protesters, the rioters, those will be the people that we will be fighting. It's not going to be a military. It's going to be a militia.
So let me encourage you as someone who 100% felt rage 24 hours ago, and as someone who is incredibly flawed, and not nearly as knowledgeable and as articulate as a Charlie Kirk. But Nick, I encourage you and anyone listening right now to think long and hard about the things that Charlie has said in his short life and how impactful he was. And you reach out to me as often as you need to, and let's hold each other accountable, and let's do our best to not only make sure that his message is conveyed, but that his spirit is too, because he had such a gift, and we need to try to take our talents and take our opportunities to be like him, and hopefully turn this rage into a constructive force. And I know this is so damn easy for me to say and just sit here and just try to remain calm. But we really have no other option, because if you think about this, the Charlie Kirk way and the Civil War way, which of those is more likely to produce an America that you want your kids to live in?
Right.
And I think that, and I mean it, Nick, let's
stay
in touch, and
I agree.
Let's do our best to stay focused on the message as opposed to the rage.
And I think in doing that, I think that the thing that I'm most focused on now and in the coming weeks will be to make sure that it's our responsibility, whether you were a fan of his or you're just a patriotic American, I think it's our responsibility now to make sure that history remembers Charlie as a hero martyr and not as the left would want to paint him, as a David
Right.
Duke type character.
Very important. That's very important. Let me let you go. Nick,
Yeah.
please keep in touch. That's such a good point. We can't let them make him into a caricature. We can't. We've got to be motivated by him in his message and not let them just get away with what they do so often, which is change the language and change the definition and change the history and the reality, which is Charlie Kirk was an awesome person with an incredible message, and we should do everything that in our power to make sure that is the focus going forward. Brad, did you want to respond at all to that?
No, I have Charlie's reactions to his South Park appearances.
Okay. I see. I didn't know, so I don't know what they did to him or what. How long ago was this? Do we know?
It wasn't that long ago. It was well, the comments are from a month ago. Did you not see the South Park where they show? Well, it's in this, but it shows him debating.
This is in here.
Yeah,
great. Maybe I have.
He plays them, and they're funny. And
Let's see.
He
The
responds.
South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, part of it is kind of like whatever, typical humor, but it was hilarious. Just watch this little snippet of our Prove Me Wrongs, our viral cultural domination on prime time on Comedy Central. So important, so impactful that South Park is highlighting. Watch it.
I'm sick of people stealing my shtick. If anyone around here is going to be a master debater, it's me. So let's go. Who wants to debate the master debater? Let's go. You right there.
That's the stupidest haircut I've ever seen.
You are wrong. Leviticus 3:17 says it shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings. So you can shut up, baby. You just hate America and you love abortions.
Not only that, but Jeremiah 1:5, I made you in the womb. South Park gets this right. In fact, I think they've been watching a lot of Charlie Kirk videos. Watch.
Oh my God, what makes you think you have the right to say what I do with my body?
Let me ask you something. If a pregnant woman is killed and the baby dies too, why is the killer charged with a double homicide?
Well, because people have different beliefs.
It's not about belief. It's about truth. Science confirms life begins at conception. So yes, Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. But it's just morality that demands we protect the most vulnerable.
And we got our own award show as part of South Park. I was told going in, Charlie, if they say your name, that's a big win. Well, apparently there's the Charlie Kirk Awards.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Charlie Kirk Award for Young Master Debaters. More and more young people today are learning to fight for America through masturbation. We're here to honor the recent efforts of a brave young man who has been furiously masturbating for the past several days.
Now, there's going to be a lot said about this, but we need to have a good spirit about being made fun of. This is all a success. This is all a win. We as conservatives, we have thick skin, not thin skin.
Man,
and you can make fun of us. It doesn't matter.
Right?
And until next time, I hope all of you also become master debaters for truth. Okay, everybody, the South Park episode
He had a great sense of humor, and when you can laugh at yourself like that, that's a win.
I liked how Cartman kept taking the top off the water bottle. That's very subtle.
He's very
and then taking it off, and then putting it on, and then taking it.
It's perfect. It's what he did. And let me throw out a statistic because I think this is. I go back to 1976, the bicentennial of the United States. I was in 6th grade, and I remember thinking the United States would always be the way it was because it was very patriotic.
Yeah.
And we had the scenes of Valley Forge painted on the ends of the buildings in the school. And the fire hydrants were painted red, white, and blue. And it was very patriotic. And I thought, well, because when you're in 6th grade, you think things are always going to be that way. Right. And I thought, well, this is cool. This is always going to be like this. And back in 1970, here's the statistic for 1975, there were 4 billion people in the world.
Okay. 1975, 4 billion people in the world. Okay.
2025,
there
are 8.2 billion people. There are twice as many people in the world. It's a wonder anybody gets along.
It's
if you think about it, there are twice as many people as there were
twice as many people
50 years ago. We're going to. It's tough to get 5 people to agree where to go to lunch. If at work,
right. Where do you want to go to lunch? I don't know. Where do you want to
Right.
go? What do you feel like? And by the way, Scotty McCube there. Fun fact: Comedy Central canceled all future skits mocking Charlie. Wow,
that's actually too bad. I mean, I don't think they should do that. Charlie right there told us that it was.
Yeah.
He was cool with it. Man. Why do that? That means they win. You can't change.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I understand. I understand. I want to put this up here.
And Elon, the Gear Bear says, and Elon has only contributed like 8% of that increase.
Yes, he has. Let's go back to the audio space. Don't forget, we have the audio space if you would like to share your thoughts. You're not going to hear Brad over there. You're not going to hear the stuff that we're playing because Brad's unimportant. No, it's unfortunately it's just this is a Mickey Mouse setup that I always do here when we.
No, Disney would do it better.
Wow, that hurt.
Let
me. I didn't catch the name. Jeffrey. Jeffrey, go ahead and unmute your microphone. What's on your mind here? The floor is yours, Jeffrey. Let's see. Well,
it's a 50-50 shot whether or not Keith pushed the right button or Jeffrey's just not talking.
I'm watching his microphone thing go on and off like he's muting and unmuting. Shoot, what's the deal there? Let me check the old volume. It was up for Nick. I don't know. It's up all the way. Huh? I don't know. Jeffrey, going once.
They should do a skit with Charlie master debating as a ghost. They've done things like that before.
Oh yeah. Okay. Jeffrey, we'll try again here. I'm going to remove you there. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. It says Jeffrey can no longer speak. Well, we already knew that. I'm just saying.
Hope his voice heals soon.
That's what comes up when you take him off there. Sorry, man. Well, now, of course, now it says he's a speaker. What is happening? Ridiculous.
NSO.
I don't know. It usually is. Let's just make sure here, everybody. Well, it says he's a speaker, but it also says he can no longer speak. So I have no idea what that means. Let me. Did you see the TMZ?
Yes.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on that? And I'm not trying to trap you. I am going to tell you though that I'm giving them an out, and I'll show you here in a second. But
do you have the video?
So here's what I did after the show today, because we did talk about that on my day job, Pat Gray Unleashed over on the Blaze. We talked about that, and at the time I said, really, you guys were cheering a car chase in LA or whatever it was. So let me run through this here. So here's the moment in question. This is happening at the same time.
Possibly.
So this is, just so you know, this is 3:40 p.m. Central Time. This is right before we get the message here.
In the next 20 minutes. The news conference is scheduled for 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. Janet, go.
All right, you hear the clapping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go to have somebody look at the Fox. Trump just posted.
All right, you hear the clapping, then you hear them say Trump just posted it. So everyone is thinking, oh my gosh, they were cheering in the other room that Trump has just confirmed that Charlie Kirk has died.
That Charlie Kirk is dead.
All right, so okay. All right.
I didn't read it that way.
Okay. Well, I want to go through this here. I'm not trying to defend TMZ, but at the same time, I do want to show you all of the evidence that I was able to uncover here. So this is exactly 3:40 Central, 2:40. Let's just do Mountain Time, Keith. 2:40 Mountain Time here.
Possibly in the next 20 minutes.
And the reason I'm going back to this is I want you to hear a little bit of cheering and then an eruption of cheering.
The news conference is scheduled for 3 o'clock in Utah time.
You hear them going, oh! go.
Time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. Janet, go.
All right, because there was like because I think facts are important, okay? And so there was a little bit of cheering, and then there was a lot of cheering, and so I went, and I cannot believe I did this, but I went and I found well, first before I do that, just note that here's the if you missed the Trump truth, where is it? Right, shoot, I just had it here. Dadgummit, where did it go? And I just, the reason that's important is because in the Trump truth, it is exactly 3:40 Central, 2:40 Mountain Time, where he announces that Charlie Kirk has died. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. Now he's no longer with us. Sympathies to Erica and his family. But you'll see there 3:40 p.m. That's Central Time, because that's where I screenshotted it here in Central Time at the exact moment that TMZ made that announcement. Now, so then I went and I said, I want to find that moment in time when the car chase was happening. And I want to see if that is a BS, because I knew I was going to prove that the guy was just, going down the highway or whatever. Look at the bottom right corner. It's 1:40 p.m. in Los Angeles there. 1:40, 2:40 Mountain, 3:40 Central. And here's what is happening.
I'm not quite positive if we're looking at north and south. Okay, and this is interesting. Okay, so you've got CHP that pulls up, and they have now pinned this person in, and now you're seeing a potential effort to get around that congestion. And CHP is being very aggressive here to stop this chase. So there's going to be an officer behind. So now he's backing up, and it looks like they're going to pin this person in. So they must have some sort of idea that this person is not armed.
Yay!
But that is incredibly aggressive.
That is incredibly aggressive.
He got away. So the best case scenario for TMZ is that they were cheering this guy getting away from the cops, going out there to continue to endanger citizens on the street. That's the best case scenario. And I think that might have actually been the truth.
I don't disagree. And I'll admit that I've watched those car chases, and I have found myself, because I have found myself rooting for the guy in the car too. And I don't know, maybe because it's all it is to me is a car. You don't stop.
Okay, but if that guy goes and
I understand.
T-bones a mom and her kids.
I get it. But human instinct,
I got you.
At least mine.
But that matches up. I bet if you played those at the same time, I bet is that first backing out, and then the big cheer is when he gets through there. That's right. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt on that one. Do you have anything else here before I try on Jeffrey again?
No. I didn't think that they would be. I didn't think they would be cheering for the death of Charlie Kirk. And don't ask me why. 'Cause I'm not a big Harvey. Was it Wine? What's his name?
I forget I can never remember his last
Harvey.
name.
Yeah, TMZ Harvey.
TMZ Harvey.
I'm not a big fan,
right.
But I don't think he.
No, I don't think he's a bad guy.
Hey, listen, I don't.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time. But
Jeffrey, unmute your mic. We all, bro. Unmute that microphone and let's give it a.
Can you hear me
there
now?
We go. Hey, what's going on? I can hear you, sir.
Man, long time listener, first time caller, and just so 5-second version. When you first call in, you have to accept the terms of service, and my pop-up blocker stopped me from seeing that.
Also, this is the first time that you've ever participated in an audio live stream, is what you're saying.
Man, that's right. You got me.
Wow, look at that.
Me in.
Okay, well, I appreciate you making time and choosing me as your first. So, what's on your mind?
Technically, it's a
three-way. I'll buy you dinner later. Man, Charlie Kirk is a man of faith, isn't he? Extreme faith, and
yes.
He's one of the. Growing up, I'm a lot older than him, But growing up in the 80s and 90s, and part of the early 2000s, it wasn't cool to be a Christian, man.
Is it today?
You know, it's definitely a lot more accepted in the youth today, in some respects.
Okay.
Right. And I can see that with my kids, man, because if I was like, I just, and he is part of that. You know what I'm saying? And
look, I can vouch and say that my 3 kids are better people than me today, and they are better than I was at their age. So I see your point.
Man, that's me too.
In that microcosm.
Yeah, and they're unapologetic about it. And it's not just him; it's the music that we've seen out of Christian music in the past 20 years. It's better than secular music at this point. It's the movies. I mean, look at in fact, really, I think started with Mel Gibson and The Passion of the Christ being an actual AAA production. And then people said, hey, you know, we can do this well. And slowly yet surely that gets built. And then you see these faith-based studios like Angel Studios coming out and just hitting home runs. And Charlie Kirk just saying, I'm a Christian and I don't care what you have to say about it. And other people like him. And, you know, the reason why I said something is the guy before mentioned rage. And you guys kind of hit on it. And Glenn said he said that Glenn said this more, which I didn't get to hear that. Bottle that up, use it, but make sure you pour it in the right jar. Right? You pour it in the wrong jar, and it's going to explode.
I would have stolen that if I'd heard that today. Sorry.
You know, I didn't hear that. That's what the guy before said, and I'm kind of summarizing it. The guy who called in.
My bad.
He said he had rage.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, he did not magically forget an 11th commandment that says to be nice. You know, these rules are put in place to show what real love is. And Christianity is a rated R faith. It is time for everyone to get out of this idea that it's PG, that, you know, it's all roses and butterflies. Man, it was persecution after persecution. Of the 13 apostles, of course, Judas plus 1, you know, after they exiled Judas, 11 of them were martyred. That should tell you the ratio you're looking for amongst believers. You know, 11 of them, only one got to live a long, healthy life, and the other committed suicide. You know, it is not, and God tells us to love your neighbor. And actually, let's take a step back. Let's do the whole thing, because I hate cutting verses up. Jesus says, I give you a new commandment: love your God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And there's 2 things about that. Number one, it gives you an order. You know, you love God first, and if it gets in the way of God, you can't do it, even if it is your neighbor. But then you got to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I am struggling, and I don't know where to draw the line, although I have an idea, but I'm not certain enough to say it publicly. But these people aren't our neighbors. Some of them are. Some of them are good faith, liberal-minded people that just like higher taxes, and that is not a sin. And we shouldn't demonize just the fact that they think a 40% tax is reasonable versus us thinking a 20% tax is reasonable. But we're not having a discussion of numbers. You know, there's no moderating and middle ground to be had when it comes to, we think your kid should have their genitals chopped off, and you don't. There's no moderacy there. There just isn't. Stop that.
So hold on. So let me stop you for just a moment. Hang on. Which, by the way, if you're talking about the Bible being rated R, you got to start with the Song of Solomon. Am I right? No, but hold on a second. Hold on. So let's just pause right there. I agree, and I am sure that the vast majority of the people listening to this live stream today would agree with you that we should not be for chopping off parts of little girls and little boys' bodies. It's demonic, and I think you should be prosecuted if you partake in that, whether you're the doctor or the parent. So that being said, what is Jeffrey's next step in solving this problem of having that evil among us? What is it that you would do? And if you're king for a day, Jeffrey.
Well, if I was king for a day and had a magic wand, a lot would change. But one of the best thing I have seen thus far, I did get to listen to Steve Dace. I usually take my lunch during Steve Dace's show, and
no, everybody should take their lunch, just so you know, just to make it easy for you. On Thursdays and Fridays, you should always take your lunch between Steve Dace and At the Mic. So that'll get you from 2 p.m. You got to eat a late lunch. You got to eat a big breakfast, okay, Jeffrey? But from 2 to 3 Eastern, that's when you walk away from the news and to come back to us for At the Mic. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The best I've heard thus far, and I don't propose to have all the answers, by the way. I am gifted to see problems quicker than other people. I am not gifted to find prescriptions quicker.
That's fair. No,
But,
I got you.
But the best thing I've seen thus far is of course, Steve is very ingrained in Iowa politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has a connection in the state legislature in Iowa. They will be prosecuting school districts that do not fire people that celebrate the Charlie Kirk assassination. They will be removing principals, school boards, and superintendents and administration that don't act on this. So that is an easy check mark for me. Anyone celebrating this, not only should you be removed from your job, but in the case of like Nate Burleson from, I think it was CBS this morning, and what was the Dean something last night on MSNBC, I think the company should sue them.
Matthew Dowd.
You're talking about Matthew Dowd.
Defamation.
Matthew Dowd from MSNBC. So he was fired.
He was fired.
But I'm not familiar with what Nate Burleson said. My goodness.
Well,
we'll go find it. We'll go find it. But
sure,
continue.
yeah. But he said some crazy stuff
Okay.
that Charlie brought it on himself.
Oh, jeez.
And that's of course the 3-second summary of his 4-minute talking point. But it's not just enough to fire them. You sue them and you say, hey, you have caused MSNBC a real tangible harm to our image. We're going to value it at $10 million or whatever, because we're trying to actually sell ourselves right now. And our negotiation had went down because you. So you're going to be sued, and we're going to
Okay, but you've got to then go on the assumption that they disagree with him. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's such an ideology. If it were as simple as ad dollars, then a lot of things would be different. But so many of them. But Trump's had success in winning lawsuits. So who knows? Maybe they will start putting. Isn't that a shame?
Yeah.
We actually want them to put dollars and cents above the ideology. Yeah.
It's the only thing they understand.
I know.
Right? They don't have a God like we do. So you have to go after what they consider God. Money, power, status is what they consider God, and you have to destroy their idols. The Jews lived along with the Canaanites because they didn't eradicate them like God said to. But the Jews lived alongside them for a long time, and they made these temples to Baal and Moloch and all these things. And the Jews walked beside it day after day and just saw it and was okay with it. They let them have, as long as you do it in your temple. But of course, it inevitably spills out because they are convicted.
Yep.
And one of the things I will say,
and can I just say that Christians are just as, I mean, you can talk about Jews from that time, but Christians today are the same way, especially in America.
Way.
So, I mean, you're just picking different eras in human history to make that point.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say that I envy about a lot of the Muslim community is their conviction is unreal. I beg for 1/10 of the conviction that they have. You know, their conviction is unreal, and they are willing to go to some really extreme lengths.
Their conviction to what? Convert or murder? Right, to convert or murder the unbelievers.
Yes,
is that okay? Because I wouldn't necessarily say that that is.
I don't want to do the same things as them.
But hold on a second. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're holding that same standard for themselves. As you saw what the hijackers were doing the night before 9/11. So, but when it comes to murdering the unbelievers that don't subscribe to their faith, then yeah, I can see your point.
Yeah, I mean, well, their conviction of, you know, we don't care the law. Yeah. We're just going to build a whole community of Muslims here in Dallas. And
yeah.
Double
and that's a discussion for a whole other time. And I appreciate your passion. Oh, gee, I didn't mean to. Sorry, Jeffrey. I'm sorry. I appreciate your passion there on that topic, and we will have to cover that at length at some point. And I apologize for hanging up too soon there.
Got the Nate Burleson.
You got Nate Burleson? All right, hang
clip
on.
If you want it. I don't know what he said. And
how long is this? 44 seconds? Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, and Mr. Speaker, I want to get back to you. And as Tony mentioned, not everyone took to his words or his rhetoric. You know, at times they were offensive to specific communities. But with that said, this is not the time to focus on that. We are focused on this tragedy. Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence? Is it a moment for us to think about the responsibility of our political leaders and their voices?
Can you pause that for me, please? I already love the setup. Is this the time for your party, the Republican Party? He's talking to McCarthy. To focus, not for politicians or people in power and authority. No, it's your part. We're already baking into this cake. The Republican Party is at fault.
Blame shifting.
Yep, go ahead. Play the rest.
To the masses as they get lost in misinformation or disinformation that turns in and spills into political violence.
I say both parties.
You know what? Kudos, Gayle King.
No kidding. Holy crap. But I see that they cut that right then. I want to hear the rest of that. Oh, well, whatever.
That was, but that's the first thing that they do is try to blame shift.
Yeah.
And what the one that they'll bring up, which I can't believe it's been, it seems like it was 100 years ago. And last week at the same time was the Vance Belter dude who went in and shot the Minnesota legislators. Remember that guy?
What happened with that guy?
Well, first of all, his wife filed for divorce, apparently, finally. But he's in jail, and it's sketchy whether or not he really was a Trump supporter. I mean, they're trying to say he's a Trump supporter, and therefore it's violence from the Republican Party.
Well, I want to know about. He's got the connections with Tim Walz. He was appointed by Tim Walz. And he also said Tim Walz. I know, right? Crazy guy. Right?
That's just it.
But is the craziest thing you hear? Do you just dismiss it out of hand anymore immediately? Because what did he say? He said Tim Walz put him up to that or something. I don't know. Something along those lines. I don't know, man.
But then the Tim Walz thing.
There's the guy. There's a guy who needs to be held to account for rhetoric. Holy crap. It was just a week ago that we played a montage of him and some of the things that he said recently.
Yeah, exactly.
What's this here?
This is because...
Oh, yeah.
the number of stories, and again, this is really upsetting too, because that poor girl got on there and they finally released all of the video. So because I've said hopefully she didn't, feel a thing, and I still hope she didn't feel anything, but the guy is
like she knew what had happened.
She knew what happened after it happened. If you've seen the still, have you not?
Oh, I've seen the whole thing. And
okay, you've seen the still of her face, so she knows after she's been stabbed, she realizes there's something wrong.
But what I'm saying is, I have the same hope as you. It was so quick that as she comes to that realization, like she doesn't even put her hand up to her throat.
Right.
That's how quick she faded out.
And I've cut the crap out of my hands on table saws, and I can tell you, you'd think it would hurt like crazy, and it doesn't. It doesn't
takes
hurt.
a moment. It does.
When you hurt yourself that bad and you get stabbed like that, I would say it probably takes several minutes before it hurts, and hopefully. But this guy,
at least in my experience, it was a little quicker than that when I tried to chop my fingers off, if you recall, at the headstrom.
That's true. You're good at that sort of stuff.
I will say, hold on a second. Let me just. I'm trying to. I may actually end up buttressing your point here.
Don't you threaten me with a good time.
I sprinted through the house to grab my car keys.
And realize you didn't have any fingers.
You know what? Hold on a second. That's a good point. Because it took me from sprinting from the front yard through the house, all the way through the house, then back through, grabbing some old T-shirts in the garage that I ended up, I sat on it, driving the truck to the emergency room. So you're right, actually.
It takes a while.
Did take a little bit of time. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, hopefully. But this guy, because again, the everything, Charlie Kirk has been dominating the news cycle. This guy, and I saw this when we saw the initial video of him getting on, of her getting on the train and sitting down, and you saw him behind her, and you saw him kind of put his head down. Something was going on behind his eyes. We knew he was crazy, but he said that he told his sister, who he attacked several years ago, he told his sister the reason that he killed Irina was because she was reading his mind.
No, I didn't. That part. I heard the material was activated in him.
I
didn't hear that.
Right. That could be. At this point, I don't know. Is it MK Ultra? If the guy is really just is just paranoid schizophrenic, there's so many people out there who are literally crazy, and we've got no place to put them because everything's backwards and upside down. But the guy was either legit crazy or, like you said, he was activated. Who the hell knows?
So and this is gonna sound like I'm not being serious, but I absolutely am. Do you feel safer having someone who is obviously crazy like that running the streets, or someone who may not have a criminal record, but they're posting stuff like this on the left? Look at all these threats. I hope they do Joe Rogan next. Now they got Charlie Kirk. Nice. Can we do Ben Shapiro next? LMAO, best birthday present ever. Do Ben Shapiro next. Ben Shapiro. J.K. Rowling. Dennis Prager. Oh my gosh.
Notice none of them have their real name.
That's such a good point.
Bunch of pussies. Put your real name out there. Let us know who you are. I put my name out there. You put your name out there. Let them know who you are.
Yep.
If you really feel that strongly, and unless you're just a pussy keyboard warrior and sitting there in anonymity in your mother's basement, and if you mean it, say it.
Say it. Yeah. So this is you sent this video. They're not just behind screens with anonymous handles. They're among us as well, as this lady proves. I screwed it up. I moved the cursor forward to get past the GD that she drops on us here.
Is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few.
Oh my gosh.
Just great.
I mean, these people are mental, and they are among us. And
the joy that
the joy that she has. And so you heard her. We're not going to act on this. We're not going to go in and continue to amplify his message or fill in the ranks now. But
she was in the responses to
there she is.
her up. She's taken, because I looked up her TikTok, and she's turned that account private. So I think she discovered.
But look, she's proud of her Mome studio. You go, Jacqueline, and there she is.
Actually, no, and somebody corrected, said she's the one second from the left.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So they highlighted the wrong part, which is the danger of putting
yes, it is
doxing. But yeah, she let us know who she was at least, and I mean, and this is going to sound stupid, but if I'm walking down the sidewalk, I try not to step on bugs.
Yeah. I mean, you cross the threshold, you're fair game.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You come into the house and you're gone. But if I'm out walking, running, whatever, I will do my best not to step on ants for crying out loud.
Okay, but what if they're in your garage?
Oh, they're dead.
They're dead. Okay. What if they're on the sidewalk, like as you go to get your mail, like in front of your house, on not on the street sidewalk, but the pathway from your house to your mailbox?
I'm gonna have to ask them or assess what their intent might be.
I see. Which direction they're heading?
Yeah, the majority of them. See if they are. See if they've been militarized, and in that case, they're dead. But I mean, if I'm out there again, somewhere else, somewhere out in somebody else's front yard, and I know that's stupid because they're bugs.
Because you have a conscience, because you are a human being, because you don't look at death as a reason to rejoice. Demons do, possessed people do, people that have no spiritual connection whatsoever sure do. This is the thing. This is what I meant to talk to Jeffrey about before I accidentally hung up on him. Is okay. Do we separate at this point? I mean, because I've been advocating for that for a long time. Actually, just you know what, you pick 25 damn states. We'll take the other 25. Let's make this happen. And then you got property rights, and then it gets messy.
I know.
So, but nobody wants to think about this.
Stop. It's a giant pain in the ass. Number one.
And stop for a moment. Does anybody seriously want a civil war? Do we? What'd you say?
Not if you have a brain.
Not if you have a brain.
Fighting hurts.
Right, and I can just there are so many people though that if you ask them, yeah, let's go. Stop. Just think about this for just 5 seconds, please. Think about this.
But at some point, it does it.
I understand. I'm also not willing to be crushed underfoot at the same time. So yes, it goes back to that meme you had earlier about the guy who just wanted to be left the hell alone.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any credence in this whatsoever? This lady, did you send me this, or where did I get this? I don't even know. I've seen a lot of these videos and posts, and I don't know. I
can't remember what she says.
What did she say? She's talking about when the news broke about Charlie Kirk.
Okay, those who are seeing this all about Charlie Kirk, first of all, I am devastated. I am stressed. I hope he's okay. I was just Googling this, and something blew my mind. This just happened September 10th. If you look on Google right now, 19 hours ago, posted by New York Times and Los Angeles Times, 19 hours ago.
Gotta be a glitch.
Saying Charlie Kirk was shot.
It's gotta be, right?
I would think so.
Because she shows the screenshot.
Today's the 10th. This doesn't make sense. 19 hours ago. 19 hours ago. Today is the 10th. This doesn't make sense. How could the New York Times and Los Angeles
It's a glitch, right, Brad?
19 hours ago that he had been shot when this
World Trade Center 7.
Brad.
It has to be. I mean, doesn't it? I don't. Has to be.
Bad. It's a glitch.
It has to be. That's the way. Again, everything is so bizarre. I don't know what to believe. I don't know. I don't know who to believe. I don't even know who's real anymore. If I've not met you, I'm not really sure of your existence. And
That's fair.
it's, and quite frankly, if we are in a simulation, that means that when I'm not talking to you, Keith, you don't exist.
Wait, what now? What about when you're texting me? Oh, you don't know that it's me responding.
That's true.
I could have handed it to Matilda.
Could be the machine. Could be the machine.
And you know how she feels about you. So when I get snippy with you, it could be her.
It could be her. I don't know. I really, everything is so hard to understand. Again, we don't know who did this to Charlie. We don't know what their motivation was. Was it the machine? Was it the syndicate who did it? Well, hell, was it Israel?
It is, bro.
It seems like a stretch, but I don't know if Charlie thought that they might be out to get him. Who the hell knows? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know how I would vote on my own poll, bro.
And it's because of our eyes being of the last 10 years. Good grief, it's been 10 years. The lies that we were exposed to, the fact that we keep finding out that we've been lied to about damn near everything we were ever taught.
Okay, you're right. So, okay, as long as we're kind of going down that rabbit hole, did you see the somebody tweeted it out, and then Candace Owens amplified it last night? There was an airplane. I'm looking for. I thought I had its tail number here. Okay, so go to your Twitter there. Everybody can do that. Well, no, because you got to stay here and watch this. Brad will do this for you. Go to your Twitter and type in.
It doesn't involve feet.
Ugh. Feet just have never.
Well, wait a second. How much money are we talking?
All right, so just type this out. This is the tail number of a plane. N as in Nancy, 888 K as in Keith, G as in gangsta.
Say that one more time. N as in Nancy, 888
KG.
KG.
See, what's the
Twitter
on that? What's the latest tweet or what have you about that? Does it say anything? Because the way it was reported, here's what it said. As you look, see if there's an update. Private jet under the tail number N88KG left Provo Airport an hour after the shooting. Suspiciously, 30 minutes into the flight, it drops off of ADS-B illegally and reappears headed back to Provo approximately an hour later. Why did this plane turn off its radar? Where is the shoot? Okay, they're trying.
Here's the page on Twitter, and interestingly enough, the top tweet that came out was from Hustle Bitch, and he was a big tweeter during the Maui fires.
Okay,
and then he disappeared. I have no idea who he is.
Oh wow, because that's weird. The verbatim there that you have, I have it under Stellar. Let's see. Stellar Man 22. Somebody copied and pasted is what I'm saying. But go ahead. What were you saying there? He's the one that went out?
He was a big poster tweeter during the Maui fires, the wildfires, and the conspiratorial nature of what happened there, which feels like it was 100 years ago. But he has this information, and if you are familiar with this thing happening, the same thing happening during the Vegas shooting.
Yes, the transponder going off.
The helicopters had all of their transponders. They would take off, then they would turn them off, and then we saw a video of gunfire coming out of what looked like helicopters.
Some would say transponders were turned off 24 years ago today above the skies of New York, but
but you know what? When a passport survives an explosion and lands several blocks away, just so you can prove that, what was his name?
Muhammad
Atta. That's wow.
He was there.
Was he?
That's what.
So that's
okay. So is there an update on the plane there?
This is a minute ago, and it's in Spanish. So go ahead and translate that for us.
I can't even see. Can you hit the little translate button there?
I would if there was one.
I have a translate button. I think if you open up the tweet. Like click on the Text
Is that when you say click on it? You mean put the little hand thing over it and then push a button?
Click, open it, and make it. There you go. Now look for the translate button up there.
Wow, that's weird. It's still not there.
No, upper right. Those 3 dots now. Now hit the 3 dots. Does it translate? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Oh well, I'm wrong.
Hold on. Maybe Grok explain this post
in Spanish, in Portuguese.
Why can't I?
You know what? Now I don't care. Now I don't even suspect.
When I click on it, why does
at this point?
It's hold on. He's Grok is analyzing it.
No, there's shorter ways to do this.
The post by E1 Eder discusses a conspiracy theory involving a private jet with a tail number of blah blah blah.
Okay, so don't. Hey, tell Grok. We'll wait while you tell Grok to stop suggesting it's a conspiracy theory. Can it just be a theory? And then when we prove it wrong, then we can label conspiracy to it, okay?
It's a theory.
It's a theory. I cannot believe that you opened up the Spanish.
The request seems to emphasize that something is a theory, not a conspiracy theory. That's what I said, buddy. Let's check the context from the previous conversation for clarity. Grok and I have a pretty decent relationship.
Do you? Because Grok and I do not.
Yeah, we I was saying, but when I told him it's a conspiracy theory, he's like, all right, I'm going to dig deeper.
Oh,
now let's search for details on the jet.
Don't call it a him. It's an it.
I've seen him naked.
Oh.
Is that all? That's all I'm going to say. Okay. I understand your point. Let's discuss this as a theory based on the available details and observations.
I just wanted to know if there was updated information. I could have done this.
Regarding the theory about the private jet with the number being connected to the shooter's escape, the aircraft is a 2023 Bombardier owned by something. Derek Maxfield.
Wait a minute. Now I just did the latest on N88KG, and somebody just said it went to Tuba City Airport in Arizona. And the shooter was
extracted. If you haven't been to Tuba
there.
City this time of year, you're missing out.
And the shooter was extracted.
Shows it heading southwest Nevada border, typical cruise speed, 49 jets, was disabled, causing it to vanish. A move that's illegal under FDA. Proponents of this theory suggest a blackout period covering.
Okay, so now somebody posted, they're quoting MJ Truth. Quote, I think we have a smoking gun. Very suspicious flight activity before and after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. They tried to wipe flight data, and then they go into the plane and heads to the Arizona-Nevada border. It talks about the transponder. I mean, this is very detailed. This is, okay. There's a lot here. Covert rendezvous, drop-off.
It will be innocently explained as we changed the battery in the
it was a glitch
ponder, and it did go out. Sorry, it did go out for probably 40 minutes. We didn't have that model battery and we wanted to make sure that were updated, and then by the time we put it back in, and we really apologize. Sorry if we freaked anybody out.
And you just read that in Spanish, am I right?
I
off
did.
of the thing there.
I did.
Okay, let me just make sure, just check in to see if anybody over on the audio stream wants to chat here before we take off. Any other thoughts on this that you would like to share? I can just say that
it's been very cathartic. I feel better, actually. Strangely, I do feel better.
Really?
Than I felt earlier.
Okay.
And because when he was talking about the and who was it that called Eric? What was it? Hey, we're talking about the feeling rage. Nick,
yeah.
Feeling rage. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's what I felt. I don't know. I
was very angry. I was going in so many different directions yesterday. I was just bouncing back and forth between angry and sad.
Yeah, I couldn't get anything done, and I'm incredibly sad. And every time it was the kids. When I thought about his 2 kids, I just
yes. Do you think that one thing that I haven't picked up on, and it's only been 24 hours, and I don't know that if the emotion of fear, I don't know that people would verbalize that. But do you think that people are going to be less inclined to speak out now or speak the truth? Because I don't feel that at all.
No.
And I think it's going to have the opposite effect. Oh, this is what I was going to say. See, I got back to it. Look at this. Is what I was going to say earlier. So the 2020 election, and this is a news flash, it was stolen from Donald Trump. I don't know if people realize that. And so instead of getting, and we've made this point many times, instead of getting a vanilla Trump second term that was filled with Washington insiders and a Vice President Pence, and the moles that were in the White House and so on, and instead of getting just a lukewarm type presidency, and forget COVID just for the sake of this conversation, you get a stolen election, and the Democrats get what they want, and they get their guy Joe Biden in there, and then what happens is 4 years later you get Trump 2.0, which is so much more dynamic and so much more successful. And he has had 4 years to seethe, quite frankly, as you know, in between court appearances, and plan and plot and put the right people around him and get a good team assembled that are actually. Do you think you're going to get a Maha movement, a RFK HHS type game changer appointee? Do you think you're going to get a Pete Hegseth as defense secretary, or a Marco Rubio as Secretary of State if the second term started on January 20th, 2021? Do you think you're going to get the dynamic people that are involved there, a Tom Homan and a Kristi Noem running the border stuff and immigration? I mean, you're not going to get any of these game changers in your administration. So, but it was so dark. It was so dark when the 2020 election dust settled, and we saw that the Marxists were going to be in control of our country for at least the next 4 years. And it seems so dark right now with the death of Charlie Kirk. And there is no way to paint this and say it was a good thing that this man was taken from his family. I'm not saying that at all. I would never say that. What I am hopeful for, that people who otherwise would have sat on the sidelines and not been moved to speak out and to make the case for common sense and good values that are so intrinsic to this nation and its roots, and would not ever speak publicly about their faith and their relationship with Jesus. You may have just unleashed just an untold number of people who will now reach individuals. In other words, your family and friends that would never have Charlie Kirk show up on their timeline. You have that relationship, and you have that ability to either introduce them to the things that Charlie Kirk has said, or you be that mouthpiece. You be the impactful voice that changes hearts and minds, and multiply that stuff, something that we would have never gotten motivated to do without something this heinous happening and trying to silence a Charlie Kirk. And so while I would never say it is a good thing, I would say that it maybe it will wake up more people that otherwise would have just slumbered and said, Charlie's got this. Charlie will handle all this for us.
Breaking news out of Boston: a large police response after reports of shots fired at UMass Boston. There's the headline from WCVB. This is 24 minutes ago. Okay. Also,
I hate to say that, I asked this, but do we know if anyone's speaking at UMass in Boston right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing I'm thinking.
Also in the chat, somebody says the tail number of that plane has now been blocked by the owner. I don't know what that means. How do you block your tail number?
I don't know.
Doc Kitty thought Rebecca and her cat were here. And
okay.
Confused.
So tomorrow, hold on, there we go. Jar Holly, just like 9/11, we came together, and this too will allow us to do it again. Yeah, but will we stay together? That's the thing, because we sure didn't after 9/11.
No.
But I hope you're right, Jar Holly. I hope you're right that the division can ultimately lead us together. Okay, and you mentioned, Rebecca, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, we will do the Friday live stream and try to this one hurts, man. This one hurts. and we're never going to get over this. We're just going to have to adjust, and please don't forget to pray for his wife Erica and their two children, ages 2 and 4. But tomorrow we will end the week with the Friday live stream. Before we go, speaking of Erica, I do want to. She posts, and I wasn't familiar with her account until last night when I looked her up, and I saw that she does post a lot of Bible verses. And the last one she posted yesterday morning was this: Psalm 46:1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. And could that have been a more appropriate verse on the day that her husband was taken from her? So
Yeah,
please pray.
that was 2 hours before.
2 hours before. Please pray for Erica Kirk and the two children, and it looks like Doc Kitty is all choked up.
Right on time.
Is there going to be a hairball on you? Maybe we should hang up before it's the most disturbing video we've ever seen. Okay, everyone.
I hate cats.
Hug your family tonight. Maybe don't put a cat in your lap. But anyhow, thank you all for hanging out with us today and for talking. And please continue to say a prayer for Charlie Kirk's family.
Yep.
And we will see y'all back here in 22 hours for the Friday live stream. Until then, please be safe and keep Charlie's flame lit. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.